welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you another book tag. Today I will be doing the Moody Book Tag, and it's quite a short tag, not many questions. Well, I say that, there's 11 questions. So, let's get started. Question number 1. Do you consider yourself a mood reader? Yes and no. I have a monthly TBR game, so not really, but sometimes during the middle of the month I'll pick up a different book. Or I'll swap out a book on a prompt, if I can, for another book that I want to read more. So, kind of. kind of a mood reader, but I need a TBR, a set TBR for each month. Which leads into question number 2, which is, do you set TBR lists and do you stick to them? Yes, I set TBR lists. Like I just said, I have my own monthly TBR game. Do I stick to them? No, I swap out books on prompts all the time, if I can swap it out, because I'll just be much more interested in reading another book, like halfway through a month, and I've lost interest in the book on the list, probably because it's on the list, and I'm like, I kind of want to read this now. Question number 3, do books affect you emotionally? Does the mood of a book rub off on you? Yeah, I say books can affect me emotionally, like if it has like a really sad ending or there's a really sad scene, and if it's like with a character that I like, then yes, I will get sad, but it doesn't typically like ruin my day or anything like that. Like if I finish a book and it had like this massive bittersweet ending, which is like sad and shocking, then yes, I will sit for like 5-10 minutes and be like, what just happened? And probably be like, if my favorite character died or something like that, I'll be sad, like, oh, they're gone. But then I can easily I can move on and pick up another book. It doesn't stick with me. Question number 4, when you're feeling sad, what do you read? Or do you not read when you're sad? It depends. Like sometimes I can read when I'm sad and sometimes I can't. But I'll typically go for my usual genre if I'm sad, or I'll go for like a comfort read. Like when I'm really, really sad, I'll go for like my comfort read, which is like Little Women. It's the book I always go to when I'm feeling like really, really down and like just not in the mood for anything else. That is my typical go-to. Question number 5. Most often, do you use reading to escape, to learn, or to critically reflect? Escape. Reading is definitely an escape for me. I mean, I read fantasy. Fantasy is very good for escaping because none of it is realistic, or most of the time it's not realistic, and that's kind of what I like because I'm not a big fan of reality sometimes and I need an escape. Question number 6. What is a book that made you laugh out loud? I'm not sure. This is a difficult one because typically fantasies aren't really funny, so, and obviously that's my main genre, so I don't typically read books that make me laugh, but there is a book I read recently that had some funny lines in it, but I cannot remember what it is for the life of me. But things that do make me laugh is like when there's really sarcastic banter or like conversations between two characters, which is, you know, quite common in the fantasies that I read. They typically make me laugh. And I think From Blood and Ash is a book I read recently, which has some of that in it. So I guess From Blood and Ash. Question number 7. What is a book that has made you cry? Or if you don't cry, one that really moved you? From Blood and Ash literally made me cry. I can't obviously talk about what happened because spoilers, but honestly, basically I thought someone was safe and it was like a trick. I thought they were safe, I thought they were going to be fine, and they weren't. And yeah, I was really sad. Like it wasn't the fact that I was attached to the character, it was someone else was attached to that character and their reaction to that, what happened, just, yeah, it's making me emotional now. It was a bit crazy. Question number 8. What is a book that you don't even know how you felt about it? From Blood and Ash. Again, this has been in here like 3 times now, but From Blood and Ash I don't know. Like, I have lots of emotions and I just don't even know what to think or feel about it. Like, I loved it, but at the same time I was like, what the hell just happened, and all of this stuff. So yeah, I rated it 5 stars, but I'm just like, what the hell? Yeah, from Blood and Ash. It's fucking crazy. Question number 9. Are you more likely to read on a sunny day or a cloudy day? Well, typically the weather doesn't matter to me. I'll read whenever or wherever. But I will say that cloudy, rainy days are perfect for like curling up in bed or on the sofa with a hot drink, putting some like ambience on YouTube and curling up in like my hoodie and reading. Those are good days to read. But I will read whether it's sunny or not. So. Question number 10. Do you usually set the mood when you read? Music, lights, smells, etc. Typically, no. Sometimes I do. If I'm doing like a reading vlog or I'm getting ready to do sprints, I'll probably like put on some like ambience music or something on YouTube. But I won't really like completely set the mood with like candles and lights and stuff. I'll usually just make myself like a cup of tea or something like that and curl up in a blanket and put something on in the background. And yeah, that's kind of what I do. Question number 11. Can you leap from book to book or do you need buffer time between them? It really depends on the book. If it's a fantasy, I usually need to like take a minute to think about what happened. But that's more if I'm going from fantasy to fantasy. If I'm going from like fantasy to like thriller, I'm fine. But fantasy to fantasy, I have to take like a bit to like just process what happened in that one fantasy book, so that when I go into another one, I'm not just thinking about the one I just read. But yeah, for the most part, I can just jump from book to book, like thrillers and anything that isn't fantasy. I can jump from book to book because they're not as like heavy and dense as fantasy books typically, or the ones that I've read. So yeah, and that is it for the Moody Book Tag. Thank you so much for watching. If any of you want to do this, feel free to. I won't tag anyone in particular, but if you want to claim that I tagged you, then go right for it. And I'll see you guys in my next video.